there's this post I saw on Instagram. He said that to be an effective leader, you just have to be like a choir master. He said that a choir master turns his back to the entire audience while focusing on the people he's leading on, right? It actually made sense. It actually made a lot of sense. Like he said that because if you keep on looking at people for validation when you're a leader, you'll be lost. You lose your way. You do this, you do that. So now I want to ask you: do you actually think that thing is actually the truth? Like, do you think that you need to sometimes turn your back on your followers? Do you think sometimes you need to not seek validation from them? Because at the end of the day, you're just a slave. Leadership is just slave. Leadership is not power or anything, right? So, do you think that yes, you're meant to be turning your back on them at times and not seeking for validation and stuff like that?
First of all, let's just say it like this now. Is the leader, the choir master is the leader, and remember he's conducting the choir. Choir construction of different, what's it called, orchestras, different members of that choir, or members in that choir, the bars, the altos, the different players, and then the certain instrumentalist. First, now, the choir master is not turning his back on his followers. He's turning his back on the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And focusing on his followers.
Yeah.
What he's doing is he is being chosen as the leader to lead the pack, to lead his people. Right? He's not letting anything, he's not letting what people would say our external factors affect the way he leads his people. His main focus is leading his people to the right way, in the right way. So he does not need any distractions from the external world.
Yeah.
So being a leader is very, very tough. And yet, like you said, is being a leader actually slavery? It's not slavery, but you can see it like it's as it's being called to serve.
Yeah. That's what I should have used.
Because Jesus Christ said it in the Bible that he's a servant. Right? Everything that Jesus Christ did, he was the leader of the 12 disciples, right? But he always said that he couldn't serve. He's a servant. Right? He washed the feet of his disciples. Jesus Christ fed 5,000 people. Right? So, as a leader, you're not called to lead what's called rule with an iron fist, but you're called to serve the people that you are leading.
Okay.
Right? So you have to be as humble as you can be. Right? You have to be as honest as you can be. You have to be as transparent as you can be, and you have to be ready to listen. Always be open to listening to people as a leader. Yes, you might think that the position carries like the way you see the leader is like the main, the eye everybody's looking at. But he should not be looking at everybody else other than the people he's leading. So that should not be a reason why he should now turn his back on his followers and start seeking for validation. Or that he should just be focused on his people and what he's doing for his people.
Okay.
Do you understand? Yeah.
So. I have another question. How do you balance humility and confidence as a leader? Because humility is one thing. Confidence is another thing. They are two virtues that are very, 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 very separate, very, very unsimilar, very, very different, right? So, how do you balance humility and confidence as a leader?
Humility and confidence. Now, let's use the choir master as an example. Confidence is the choir master letting himself feel like that is showing himself standing in front. You know how he's like those For you to be able to do that, stand up in that podium,
Confidence. Yeah.
that's your confidence. For you to be able to attain that position, you have to be bold. You have to be confident. People have to see that you are willing to be in that certain position. You don't have to shy away from those kind of duties. You are there to be conducting, and people are watching you, so you have to be as confident as you can be. But now, humility comes in is when maybe an auto member makes a mistake, or a tenor member makes a mistake. You don't see him giving up on them, or an auto member comes and asks a question, or tenor member asks a question when you say in rehearsal. You don't see him giving up on people. He's always there to teach them, always there to make them learn, because he's expected to know, even if he's not going to know everything, right? He should always be willing and able and ready to listen. Be the most humble as he could be, right? It's going to be very hard for people to differentiate it, but to be fair, everything goes hand in hand. Being a leader means you don't shy away from your duties.
Yeah.
That is the confidence and the boldness you carry as a leader.
Yeah. Then the
Then the humility comes in when you're always ready to listen to your people. You don't want to feel like you know it all. Do you understand? You're always wanting to listen to your people. Do you understand? They would always come to you to ask questions, to seek answers from you. Do you understand? You might not know it in that moment. You might be stressed out in that moment. There's various factors that could be stopping you in that moment. But the way you would answer them shows what kind of leader what kind of person you are. Right? So as a leader, you should be able to balance all these certain attributes. Yes, there are two very unsimilar attributes. They don't really, people attend both confidence to being what's it called, on top of the world, and then humility to being very shy and But be fair, it's just very easy to synchronize those two attributes.
Yeah, like there's something Dan Mattel said in one of his videos where he said that humility is not thinking lower of yourself, it's thinking higher of the other person. Right? So yeah, humility doesn't necessarily mean you bringing yourself down. You don't need to bring yourself down for anybody. You just need to think of other people as higher, see them on a higher plateau. Okay, that's a very nice answer. Okay. Another question is leadership more about influence or responsibility? Like, becoming a leader now, is it about, let's say, becoming class rep? Is it about the amount of influence you have in you know what I mean by influence? Like the guy that everybody knows, the guy that everybody, that kind of thing. Or is it somebody that you think that, yes, he's responsible, he can actually do this, he's accountable, he has all the good virtues? Like, do you think it's about influence or is it about responsibility?
Being a leader is not about influence. It's part, but it's not about influence. Everything that has to do with leadership roles boils down to responsibility. You might use influence to get there or to attain positions, because in certain areas the people use influence to attain positions, but are they ready to be responsible and be accountable for their actions or whatever they do there? Leadership is just boils down to responsibility. Like I told you, you are called to serve, called to service, right? That's what a leader is, called to service. So you should be ready to learn, you should be ready to do work, you should be ready to be responsible for whatever you do. You should be able to take up responsibility. That's what all leadership is all about.
Okay, now, on this thing you said now, thinking about it, yes, it's very easy to say it's about responsibility and not influence. But have you ever seen a leader now, whom, when people don't like you and you're at the same level with them and they put you in a leadership position, right? It's going to be one of the hardest things you ever do, because there's no influence. You have no influence over there. And yes, maybe you might have the responsibility. the lecturers and the rest, they saw you as, yes, this guy is responsible, right? But they didn't. But your set mates, your course mates, your colleagues don't see you as that guy with influence. Now that thing now, and you agree that it's going to be very hard, like ruling people that you can't control, ruling people that when you tell them to stand, they'll sit. When you tell them wait, they'll leave. It's very hard. It's very discomforting. In fact, I've seen it play out many times. Not in Misha, but I've seen it play out like many times. So like, what do you think now that person should do in a situation like that?
This question is actually something that I actually think I wanted to answer. So now you find yourself in a situation where everybody looks like they're against you. You've been given a certain responsibility, you've been chosen to own successful responsibility. But then it looks like everybody doesn't want you because you don't have the influence.
Yeah.
In that moment, you should just continue being the responsible person that you are. Because in that moment, people might not see you as, oh, not what we want. But the truth about influence will always die down because people are always looking for the next big person. The thing about responsibility or someone that is very responsible is that it can never change. When you are somebody that can be held accountable, it is something that's everlasting and something that's lasting. I was saying responsibility lasts for a longer period of time. Someone that sees you as a responsible person now, like, it is something that can help you in the future. But you might be the most influential here in this particular area, but there's always somebody that is more influential than you. So there are people, influence like varies. People are always chasing for them who is more influential than the other. That is who they are. But that does not now determine who is now the better leader. Do you understand? Someone who has influence doesn't mean that the person is someone that can lead a particular people.
Yeah. Okay. Like from what you've said, like what I've gotten from what you've said, because my question now, I'm actually saying that my question in a way, it was actually kind of, I don't know if I will say wrong, but it was not like the right way, because from what you've said now, there is no solution. Like, it's just playing the long game, but influence will give you hand in the short term, but in the long term you're not going to be a leader, right? So responsibility, when that kind of thing happens to you, persist. Keep pushing.
Just be the same person that you are.
Just be the
don't change
and then let's say in the short term it might not be working out, but in the long, so
it's something that will last forever.
It actually makes sense. Okay, down to the next question. Can you share a leadership mistake you made and what it taught you?
Leadership mistake that I made and what it taught me. Yes, actually this is of recent. I don't know, I can't really call the name, but I had this conversation with a person or a fellow classmate of mine. Now it was that I was trying to pass a name. Okay, we were just trying to organize ourselves in the hall, and I was in an executive. I was a member of the legislative arm. So honing my leadership role, I was trying to pass a message to the crowd, try to organize them to meet, like, so that we can address the crowd. And then someone from one of my classmates said I should shut up and make a noise, right? And then do you know what I did? I reacted in a way that you never expect. I just shouted. I told him shut up, and I just kept on telling him, like, I just kept on putting my hand to my mouth like this, telling him to keep quiet. Like, you know, when you tell someone to keep quiet, you know that I was just I just kept on doing it in front of everybody. Just keep quiet, like, just do it, and everybody saw. And then, do you know the funny thing? You know what people saw? People saw that, how could this guy just single out one person and start doing it to his own classmates? That's what people were saying. They didn't want to even know what actually happened, what transpired, what he said to provoke that. But people are looking at you in that leadership role to see how you actually will react. Do you understand? And it was me that messed up. That was the mistake I made, reacting in that way. As a leader, you are expected to, should I say, have the best life. You're expected to always cross-check everything, always rethink everything you're about to do before you do it.
Yeah, I'm with
That's
you.
why you have to be the most humble and the most. You have to have it in you, and you have to be able to tolerate. That thing that I did taught me something,
Yeah.
and I'm like, this is something I already knew. But even as a person that I am, knowing something is just one. Living by that thing is another thing. And that is what you need to imbibe as a person. I knew that as a leader, there's a way you address people, even in times where it is very frustrating.
Yes.
He told me to shut up in a derogatory statement. He made a derogatory statement to me. Told me to shut up. I am making noise, knowing fully well that I am in that what's it called, scenario. I was acting on my position. Do you understand? And then what I was supposed to do was calmly go to the guy and, please, you're telling me to be quiet, but you know what I am doing, right? You know I'm trying to organize everybody, and you're telling me to be quiet. You know, calmly talk to him, because there's a way you talk to somebody that will even want the person to even assist you in doing things. Effective communication. You understand? But I didn't do that. People were waiting for me to see my reaction.
Yes.
Because it is us that as people that are in leadership roles that they are looking at. Once you are taking in leadership role, you are basically the focal point. So you have to watch everything you do. And I just shouted at him and told him to shut up. Told him to keep quiet, and I just kept on doing that, and everybody saw. So that is probably the biggest mistake. So you have to be, as a leader, you have to be able to rethink the slightest movement or slightest motion, the next step that you're about to take before you take it, so that you know, and you have to be able to effectively communicate with your members.
Yeah, man. It actually takes a lot of courage,
Yeah.
right, for people to say, okay, this is what I did and I was wrong, and here's how I can do better. In fact, that's just the essence of self-improvement. Being aware that you can actually do better than you actually did, and what you did, it was actually an alpha move, so it was actually very nice. Okay, how do you lead when you're not feeling strong yourself?
See, this question like this now. Currently, I'm not in the best conditions, right?
Right.
Yes. No, not to one side, like
Yeah, okay.
health-wise.
Yeah, health.
I'm not in but the thing is, you have to always be there.
Yeah.
You have to always be. The one thing about being a leader is, there is how you will communicate with your members. There is how you will talk with your people. There is how you will relate with them. There is how you will lead them. That even when you're not the strongest, people would want to help you, right? Like your roles, the impact you've been able to make in their lives would help you. You will see that people will just want to like always fill up your space. They would want to fight for you. They want to go extra mile. I want to use an example of a football club, Atletico Madrid Football Club. The coach Diego Simeone. That guy has been there for 12 years, or 12 to 13 years. He has been at Atletico Madrid, and the one thing about him is every single season, Atletico Madrid is always fighting. There's always a style of play that they play, and it's very aggressive football. You can see that it's like every single game they are playing, whether or not they are playing the big side or small side, like their whole squad is looking like they're going to war. They want to fight. They want to give it their all because of the manager. The squad is so united, it's so unified. Whether or not you are going or going out, you're always having one good remark to say about the coach. They're always fighting for the coach. This is how you will lead a team that for years to come, your presence will always be felt. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And the moment you are missing, you will see people. Oh, like sorry, your presence always. And once you are absent, you would see that people would question your whereabouts. They would always want to find out what's wrong with you, and in the most positive way ever. These people, every single match you watch them, you see that they are always wanted. It's like they're always going to war. They said they can. It's like they're always going to war for the manager. Every single time they're fighting to the last breath on the pitch
Because of the manager.
because of the manager. That shows an effective leader. You don't have to be hard on your people.
Yeah, he's not. You're not doing it out of fear. You're doing it out of love.
You're doing it out of love.
Yeah, you're supposed to love your leader.
This man, he shows the connection this guy has with them. For years he has been with them. He's not flogging them. He's not insulting them. His dressing room is one of the most calmest dressing room ever. Very calm. But yet you see on the pitch, they're ready to die for him. Like they launch into tackles for the coach, and you see that whenever he score or win, he's always running. You know where the what's the coach? The coach area is like so far from the corner post for those who watch ball. You would see that this man always runs to his players to celebrate. If either it is one goal or the last time or the minute they win, he's always running to celebrate with the players. Every single goal they score, he always runs to celebrate with them. He doesn't follow the coach to celebrate. He runs to celebrate with the players. Because this is how you would lead people that would make them always want to fill up your space. They always want to fight for you.
That's for you, yeah.
So when you are in a sick position, you will see people caring for you, making sure that you get better, wishing you the best, because you've been able to, or you've effectively been able to communicate and lead them well.
Yeah. And then if you're in this kind of position, another very powerful thing, right, is even before you're at your downest, you have to recognize the fact that I cannot do it alone, right? So you have to gather people, not your friends,
Yes.
not your paddy. You have to have an eye for talent. You have to look at this person and say that I know that this person will be very accountable. I know I can trust this person. You gather them. You understand? You tell them what you want to achieve as your leader. They'll believe in your mission. When you get people that believe in your mission, you're on the right track. You're good to go, right? And then when you're down, just delegate tasks. See, do this. See, do this. See, do this. And because of you didn't just because of stuff you used to watch ball. You know people that you can go to sleep and they'll get the job done. That even on your sick days, you don't even need to worry. That because so if another skill, very important skill leaders need is to have an eye for talent, have an eye for this guy Stephen Bartlett calls it recruitment. Remember that video we watched now? He said that he used to spend most of his time doing recruitment. Most people think he's doing one technical recruiting people, because that is the main thing you need. You need a team of highly skilled individuals, highly talented individuals you can trust, right? So that on your downest days, all you just need to do is pick up your phone and delegate tasks, and it will still be flowing as if you are there, even when you are not there. You understand? So yeah, I like what you said. What you said speaks more on love. When they love you, when they understand your mission, you understand, and they are willing to die, they are willing to fight for that your mission, right? So you have to get a group of skilled and talented individuals. So thank you for that wonderful answer. And the last question before we close is, can you tell us one leader that you admire?
Just one leader I admire. There's only one leader that I admire. That's Jesus Christ. Not in terms of his Bible, no. As an individual, he's like the most perfect example to give. Right? Jesus Christ. Forget he's the Son of God or whatever. He's the perfect example. He was not the richest. He was not the most popular. He was not the most influential. But he was the most responsible. He was the most he was not the smartest. I don't think he was the most smartest in mathematics, because the Bible never said he was smartest in mathematics. Maybe he was, maybe he was not. But the thing about Jesus Christ was he selected people, right? People, like, he didn't just select people based on this person is good, this person is a Christian, this person is a Jew. No, he saw you as a raw material and refined you. He saw what you yourself couldn't even see in you. Just like you said, recruitment, having an eye for talent.
Yeah, having an eye for talent. Yeah.
He saw things in people. He saw the potential people had. He saw the miles that his people would go for him. Just even before they would do it. He saw what they could do even before they did it. He was able to recruit people from various parts of the world in a mission that he had. He was able to recruit all those people and was able to streamline them into the idea that he had. The perfect idea of a leader. Every single time they came to ask him a question, he was always there to answer.
Yeah, he didn't shout.
He did not shout at them, he didn't cast them away. He wasn't rude to them. Even though there were times where it was so frustrating and they were asking questions, it was looking like they were doubting Thomas. When he heard that Thomas was doubting him, did you see him say, "That guy is not my friend"? Like, cast him away, blah 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 blah. Or during the time where they were asking me, if you are the Son of God, come down. Did you say, what do you want me to do? What have I not done? Do you not see all the miracles I did? Did you do that on the cross? No. You could have done it. Or you could have showed yourself that I'm the Son of God and just magically gotten up from that cross and done one or two, destroyed everybody there. He had the power, but he was humble. Even in his downest, even in his darkest times, he had people who cried and wept for him. Do you understand? As a leader, you would have a lot of people that will criticize your movement, criticize your leadership, criticize whatever you think. Like me now, that these are people will do that I will criticize, because people will always talk. Do you understand? Really, if you know that your leadership role, if you know what you are doing as a leader is not effectively, is not bringing effectiveness, then you should also listen to those criticisms that people are criticizing you. But if you know it is being effective, you've really seen that statistics that it is, what is it called? Something that would last for a longer period of time. You don't need to change for anybody, because people will always talk. Now, genuinely, I want to tell you something about criticisms. How to take criticisms. There are some criticisms that you will take, and there are some that you won't take.
Yeah, important.
Now, how do you differentiate all these ones? There are criticisms that you just hear and know that they are genuine. Like me personally, people that criticize me, there are a lot. But if someone I know that has genuine feeling or genuine understanding, has a genuine way, like he's just genuine about what he says about me, it's like kind of people I listen to. Somebody else that can just be just saying, I don't like this guy, no, and really doesn't have any fact to back himself up. Doesn't have any like reason for telling me this. He just saying it to just flex. You will know. The kind of ones you don't take, because people will always stop. The ones you will take are the ones that are genuine. There was a day when I was talking to a girl, like she just told me this thing that you do. Like it was just this person, like we don't talk about, we don't really talk as much, but it was like this. She was like, this thing that you do to avoid certain misconceptions and misunderstandings with people. They might not really understand this is your life, this is what you do, this is how you relate. Maybe you should just reduce the way you do it. You know? She told me this kind of things. I know that there are people that really won't understand, and especially when you are in a political role, in a leadership role, people are always looking at you. So there are things that you will do, you have to reduce. Maybe it's normal, normally you like to socialize people. So there are things that you do to reduce. Understand? And when she was talking, you could tell that this person wasn't looking out. This person was looking out for me. Sorry, this person had my genuine interest as that. She was not doing it to feel better of herself, or you could just tell from the criticisms that she was genuinely out looking out for me, you know. And I listened. Then you sit down, the type of people you sit down and listen to, and they'll be like, I don't even want to hear this. This guy, I don't take that. This, this kind of criticism that people will just come out and just say, this guy say if you just do it, they really don't have things to back their
no foundation.
Yes, and they're not saying it out of the likeness for you.
Yeah.
Or they're not saying it for you to better yourself. They're saying it so that they can bring you down. When you hear them, you will know. So the ones you don't listen to, because they don't want to see you grow. So whatever you do really cannot change their conception of you unless you just continue doing what you are doing. The best way to change someone's mind about yourself is to just continue doing what you are doing. How do I mean? If you're so nice, if you're so kind, or you are the most humble person, somebody will find a problem with it.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And that person that has a problem with it will always want to see you fail. And that person will always want to see you, like you want to see you go down. Do you know the best way to change that person's mind? Just continue being that yourself. Let me tell you, that's the truth. You might think it only works in the movies, but that's just the truth. Just continue being yourself. There is nothing you will do to change yourself that will make somebody pleased. Because the only way to please someone is to just genuinely be yourself. Right?
Yeah.
So at this juncture, I would just like to say, as a leader, there are things that you need to understand. Like things that you need to start honing, things that you need to start learning as someone that wants to be called a leader. First of all, you don't have to be in a leadership role before you consider yourself to, or you consider yourself to have leadership skills. You can hone those leadership skills even without even being in any leadership role.
Yeah.
But if you want to be able to if you want to attain those skills, certain things that you have to be able to do, which is one, having effective communication. Right? You have to be able to effectively communicate. Right? Two, you have to be able to tolerate. Right? As a human being, there's a limit to everything. That we are all emotional beings, right? There are limits to everything. Do you understand? But as a leader, you have to be able to tolerate to the fullest. Three, you have to be ready to listen. You have to be ready. Make yourself available. Try to listen. Right? Try to listen. Me, I know myself, I'm that kind of person that I would want to listen to you. But once I notice that you're not listening to me when it's my turn to stop, I will never listen to you after that. You will just keep on talking. I'll just keep on interjecting you. I'll just keep on interjecting you. That's me. But guess what? It's not good. You have to be able to listen. We all have things that we need to work on ourselves before we call ourselves leaders. The last but not the least, be humble. Humility is very key. Not just in a leader, but in everybody's life. You have to be the most humble as a leader. You don't have to show that. You don't have to use your power against somebody just to gain what you want. You're supposed to use it to serve. The power is not for you to feel like you are above everybody, because that is the misconception people have. You think as a leader, as someone who has been chosen to lead a particular person, a particular congregation, you are expected to be like you're supposed to be ahead, and so what you are doing is to just give everybody instructions and when they follow. That's not what it's about. You're not supposed to just lead from the top. You're supposed to lead with the people. Carry everybody along. Right? So these are the certain characteristics that people need to follow if you want to be called an effective leader.
Okay, so we have effective communication, we have tolerance, we have humility, and we have good listening skills. So there you have it, guys. These are what the key tips or the foundation to use to build an effective leadership skill. Thank you, Tony, for this wonderful session. See you on the next episode.